Welcome back to the Dark Reading News Desk at Black Hat USA 2025. I'm Terry Sweeney, contributing editor with Dark Reading, and joining me now on the podium is Vlad Galabov, Senior Director, Enterprise Infrastructure Research with Omdia Cybersecurity. Vlad, thanks so much for doing the Dark Reading News Desk.
No problem. I'm very pleased to be here.
You are fresh from the Omdia Analyst Summit. I understand you did some crystal ball gazing with a Cyber in the Year 2030 exercise. Talk about some of the points that emerged and what you and your colleagues were able to divine there.
So I think first, let me just say why 2030. So many companies, so many of my clients have to plan investment decisions that are long-term.
Of course.
I felt like it's important for us to kind of be honest with people. So when I look at my crystal ball, the one thing that there's no doubt about it, it's very obvious, is the investment in AI is ramping very quickly. In the first wave, a very small number of companies actually did it. So at the moment, there's actually almost a chasm between the companies that are the largest investors, which are ramping it very fast, and the companies that are, to be honest, dragging their feet. So put investment aside. If we look at model capability, which I think is more important for the cybersecurity industry, the model improvements are about 5x every year. And actually the improvements are accelerating. So that pace should be super sombering and really should put into context the fact that the cyber industry needs to go fast. Enterprise infrastructure broadly needs to go fast because, to be honest, no one's waiting for you. If
Sure.
you go slow, you're going to be left behind.
So are you saying that the amount of investment is not really tracking with the improvements that we're seeing or the return on that investment?
Actually, the improvements in terms of model performance are better than the investment because, to be honest, we're innovating at so many levels of the stack that actually we're reaching efficiencies. But the adoption and the return on investment, the value creation, it's not equal at every company. I think that that's because in some companies, to be honest, we've seen AI projects for the sake of AI projects rather than something that's solving a mission critical problem for the company. Even with cybersecurity, I feel like it's about solving the real problem as you deploy it within the solution.
It sounds like a lot of unconsciousness around like how the big spenders are going about developing AI.
Absolutely. And I also think that, broadly as an industry, we're judging something on its very first generation. A lot of the opinions we formed is based on what happened in 23 and 24. The AI improvements are dramatic and the capability that we're seeing is useful. And I think actually one of the things that we all need to do, to be honest, as a society, as a business, kind of group, is we need to constantly learn. During the Analyst Summit, between the beginning and the end, OpenAI had launched 2 new types of models that you could use very simply. So it just means that we have a responsibility to keep up, to be honest.
All that being said, it does feel fair to say that the world is in an AI arms race, at least among these big spenders and the astronomical amounts of money they're spending or investing. Like with any opportunity with emerging technology, AI is creating both opportunities and also some pretty big risks for cybersecurity professionals and cybersecurity executives. What's your best guess at some of the near-term impacts that you can foresee from just these early investments and these early innovations?
So we spend a lot of time as a team to kind of work this out, and we kind of define there are 4 areas where we end up seeing kind of disruption. One is that we're seeing cyber solutions with AI functionality kind of ingrained in it. There could be certain level of smart recommendation, there could be, predictiveness in it. Then you have AI that is entirely prepared by AI. Even coding utilizing AI at the moment is becoming more and more common. And then you have against AI, so cybersecurity that is helping you to fight the new threats. We actually spend a lot of time talking about that, as you can imagine. And then finally, cybersecurity that's protecting us, protecting our AI, because the AI models will become our competitive advantage in the future. So we talked about all of this, and I could definitely see nervousness in the audience, both on the vendor side and the buyer side, because this is new, right? It is so much to get our head around, but net, I actually think it creates opportunities, and I think it's going to put cybersecurity at the front of most people's minds. I demonstrated this point by showing a deepfake video of me sending a message to my boss. And, I wanted to ask her reaction, on stage, and really, we looked at a few more deepfake videos together. It will become much harder to protect ourselves as individuals and as businesses, and to distinguish sometimes what's reality and what's fake.
Sure.
That makes cybersecurity more important. So I think the cybersecurity industry shouldn't be nervous. I think it should be excited that it's going to become so much more important.
Well, thanks for that anecdote. I think it was just a matter of time before you crossed to the dark side. So, in any case, also curious about the benefits that have been attributed to AI, especially with regard to automation. This idea that SOCs would be entirely automated, I think, has been effectively debunked.
Yeah.
Still lingers, but what is your sense of what we can expect there, say, between now and 2030?
So in the end of our day, we actually did this great debate panel, and we talked specifically about this. That was one of the topics. And, we see it as, AI is a tool. It is a partner to the cybersecurity professional. The likelihood is that it enables, new capabilities, new functionality, more effectiveness, perhaps. Might be better at preventing certain things. At the moment, we don't think that it will be something that runs as a fully autonomous system. And I think one of the reasons why it couldn't, even if we wanted to, is that AI threats and the pace of innovation is so fast, we will need human intervention to actually keep up with the pace as well.
Right. What does your crystal ball tell you about where and how AI will settle as a way for organizations to distinguish themselves or to innovate? And maybe more importantly, how do they protect these advantages? What's curious about cloud is that cloud services, for example, they're pretty comparable.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got different ways they go about doing things, but it's mostly apples to apples. What's your sense here with AI?
So I think that, first, we need to not judge the first generation of models. They're just dramatically improving in performance. Fair. So I personally believe that every enterprise, every human will use just a dramatic multitude of AI applications in 5 years. And we will find them useful and we will love them. And I think that it's going to be similar to how we all have smartphones now. Can you imagine? Do you remember the world before smartphones? Because I just bought a house only using my phone, never opening a laptop, doing all the bank transfer on a phone. It's just, this will be, in the future, I'll be doing this with AI, and I won't be able to even imagine not doing it without. So I think that once we accept that this is a fact, that this will be ubiquitous, I don't believe that, that you cannot do it. So, will we find what works best? Absolutely. But, within the next 5 years, everyone will be doing it. Sure. And we would have figured out how to solve some of the challenges of it.
All right. Vlad, close us out with some thoughts around how agentic AI's impact will change cybersecurity.
I think that the best thing that it will help us to do is go fast. And how we should be using agentic AI actually as a cybersecurity industry is to accelerate the pace. For me, the biggest risk for the cybersecurity industry is dragging its feet and going slow. We have to go at or faster than the pace of AI innovation. So that pace is 5x a year. We need to go faster than that.
All right. Well, we so appreciate you stopping by the Dark Reading News Desk. Thanks so much for these insights and perspectives.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
We've been talking with Vlad Galabov of Omdia Cybersecurity. This has been Terry Sweeney for the Dark Reading News Desk. Thanks for joining us for this segment. We'll see you next time.